Welcome to Intuitive Flow, hosted by me, Mikaela Filar, intuitive energy healer and mindset mentor. You've landed in the space you need to be to hear the no bullshit truth about how to actually manifest the life that you crave. This is the podcast that's here to shake you awake. It's time to unapologetically step into the woman you came here to be, the one who effortlessly attracts everything she desires. Let's flow. Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Flow. If you don't know, about 2 weeks ago, I spent 4 days in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it was incredible. And I was there because it was an immersion for the business mastermind that I am a part of. And I was there with about 12 other 6- and 7-figure business owners. And it was just such an expansive and incredible experience. So I thought that I would come on the pod and share with you guys what it was all about, what was, what happened, what we did, why it was so expansive, what I learned, my takeaways, all that good stuff. Because it was just so freaking good. Like, I can't even put it into words. The group of women there were just so awesome and everyone got along so well, which it's just like sisterhood is so sacred. And especially when you can get into a room with people who are on the same wavelength as you and understand what you are building and are building it with you, alongside of you, essentially, right? So it was just really special. And I wanted to bring some takeaways that I had experienced onto the podcast for you guys. So I want to start off with just kind of what the days looked like. So the first day that we got there was just kind of like a welcoming, we did a little bit of, getting to know one another. We did this incredible exercise that I really loved where we got 10 cards each. There was 10 women who were a part of this mastermind. And we got 10 little index cards. And on each card, we were writing, after we spent the last hour and a half getting to know one another, just chatting, talking business, talking, where are you from, all that good stuff. We had these little index cards where we got to write something that we noticed or really loved about the person that we were chatting with. And then we all gave those cards to one another, and you could either write your name on it or not write your name on it. I chose not to write my name on it. Oh my goodness. But some of the women knew that they were from me. And it was so crazy because we've been in this mastermind, in this chat room, right? Essentially just knowing each other virtually. And then we all meet up and we're in real life together. And essentially we're all meeting each other for the first time technically, but also we've also been chatting back and forth in this group chat for months. And in some cases, some of the girls have been in the mastermind for a lot longer. So they've been chatting with one another for the entire year, but it was still such a special experience to be able to meet in real life and to all get together, and we all vibed so well. And these little cards, they each said something about ourselves. So everyone got 10 cards of their own from all of the other women who then said something really sweet and kind on the card. And it just was such a testimony to the work that I've done on my creator field. And I have the cards right here. I'm not going to read all of them, but I just thought that they were really special and it was so thoughtful. And I saved all of them because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. And so, okay. So one of the cards says, firstly, your hair is gorgeous. I know we just met, but you are one of the kindest souls that radiates extremely empowering energy, and I feel safe with you. Can't wait to get to know you more. Another one, I love seeing you and your business grow. You are helping women in partnership. It's so inspiring. Your energy and how you show up is always so incredible to experience. Another one says, I'm so happy to see how much your business is moving right now. It really feels like you're just getting started and you're living such an aligned life that you deserve. I mean, there are so many, and I'm not going to read all of them to you because I'm not going to like just sit here and brag, but I'm just, I wanted to share a few with you because all of the things that were said in these little cards, in these index cards, were things that I have written in my creator field or things that I have been working on to like radiate from my energy, and to see it written down from people who I either, have just been in the group chat with and then met in real life for an hour and a half was just like so special and such a testament to when you do the work and you're working on yourself and you're programming your creator field, it fucking works. And I love when it shows up in real life like that. So that was night number 1. We also did like a gift exchange where our business mentor gave us all of these little cute gifts that were, had the logo of the mastermind. This was one of them. It says top tier. It's literally a Stanley Cup. Like, how freaking cute is this? And it was just really special. So that was night 1. Night 2 was a morning 8 a.m. workout. And if you guys don't know this, I live in California. So PST converted is like 3 hours behind. So for me, it felt like a 5 a.m. workout class. But we got it done. We got it done. And it was so cute and so fun. And after we worked out, we had some workshops. We chilled. We ate lunch. This day, we had a private chef there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you guys, the food was immaculate. Like, it was so fucking bomb. And we also on that day had I think there was 5 women. So 5 or 6 incredible, very well-known business owners who are all making millions of dollars and having 6-figure months get in front of us. And basically it was like a panel where we got to ask them whatever questions we wanted to ask them. And the questions that were being asked during this panel were so great. And I learned a lot. And my favorite question that was answered was when I spoke about, I was asking like about talking about feminine and masculine energy as a business owner. And I got the most beautiful perspective shift. And that perspective shift was, instead of asking like, am I balancing the feminine and masculine in my business right now? It's, is this is this project you're working on, or is the work that you're doing, period, getting you closer or further away from peace and happiness? And I loved that perspective shift. That was from Andrea Crowder, because she just completely like released the pressure of like, am I putting too much? Like, am I doing too much? Right? Like, no, I'm not doing too much. And there are some days where I work, like I've mentioned before, like 8 hours in this little office, because I know that it's going to bring me closer to peace and happiness in my life. And that's what matters most, right? Like, that's what we're all striving for. So on the days where I have a lot more work and I'm very much so in my masculine energy, that's fucking okay. Don't be so hard on yourself, right? So that was one thing that I took away from that panelist talk. And being able to hear all of the women talk about, I'm going to get into that, but let's get back into the days. So that was day 2. We also had a photographer, videographer there. So she was doing photo shoots for us, which was super awesome because we got a lot of great content. And then day 3 was my absolute favorite day, like hands down. You guys saw me if you follow me on Instagram. I was shaking my ass on a yacht, and it was the best fucking time ever. I had gone into this day like not knowing what to expect, and you guys, we woke up, we had breakfast, we get ready, and I went on a little walk before with the girls. We grabbed coffee. It was super cute, but we get ready, we come downstairs, and there's a 76-foot yacht literally pulling up to the dock in our backyard of our mansion Airbnb on the water. Like, what is life? I literally was like, oh, this is casual. Like, but also like, what the fuck? But I would like to make this normal, right? This would be a really cool, normal thing to just happen for me all the time. Can this not just be a once in a lifetime thing? Like, I would love for a yacht to pull up in the backyard of my mansion, right? But I digress. So that was incredible. We didn't do any like business learning or anything. We honestly just had the time of our lives. Like, this group of women was so fun. And the best part about it is there was no alcohol. Like, none of us drank during this, but we were just vibing. And a lot of the women there also don't drink. So it wasn't like, a problem. We had for pictures like champagne and stuff, but like it was just for looks, which is also really funny. But the aesthetic, the content, we had to do it for them, so we did. And that was a really fun time, just like vibing, getting to know one another. It was just a top tier experience. So that was the yacht day. Then when we got off the yacht, we went back to the Airbnb, showered, chilled for a little bit, and then we had another workshop. And this workshop, you guys, was insane. We learned so much about like the back end of business and how to actually like structure an online business into the best way, like in the best way possible. So now I know this. Now I'm implementing it into my own business. I'm going to be able to help my clients do the same thing so that they don't just, throw fucking spaghetti at the wall like I was doing for years and years and years. It just feels so good to be so solid in like the structure and knowing what I'm doing and knowing that like everything is going to be flowing so much more seamless. So that was really good. And then we all went to dinner. We had sushi and it was fucking bomb. And then day 4, we had breath work twice. So she had a breathwork facilitator there, and she's incredible. We're actually going to have her on the podcast, so stay tuned for that. But this breathwork facilitator took us through 2 sessions. I think it was on day 2, and then day 4 we had another session. And these sessions were just like, they're always so incredible. We do them once a month online, but it was so awesome to experience it in real life as well. And I'll tell you guys like a couple of the takeaways that I got from these breathwork sessions. So the first one, the main takeaway was, why not me? Right? Like, why not me? And I think what's crazy is I realize that my mindset around like the business that I have and have been building has never been like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire, or like, I think maybe it was like it, but it not to like the extent of what it now is. Like, now I'm like, okay, I want to make fuck you money. And I was never like that before. And I think that there was a little bit of like, well, I want to be relatable, but like also, do I want to be relatable? I am relatable in so many other ways. And just because I make a lot of money doesn't mean that I'm not relatable. It doesn't take away the relatability that I have in other areas of my life. And I'm not ever, never say never, but I don't think that I'm the type of person who's going to like flaunt things obnoxiously. Like, I'm just going to be living my life and you're just going to be able to tell that like, I make fuck you money basically. But anyways, in that breathwork session, I really was just like, why not me? Like, it was like my higher self was letting me know like, so much like your vision, it's like the vision beyond the vision, right? Like, your vision is, it's small compared to what you're capable of. And that was like so empowering, and it just made me want to hit the ground running even more than I already have been. And so that was like a really cool experience. I don't know, I really loved it, and it just opened my eyes to like, maybe I am like, no, like I am capable of so much more. And maybe I have been like playing it small or thinking small, because of thinking that like it couldn't be me. And then my higher self was like, no, bitch, this is a limiting belief that you have buried down in your subconscious mind that we've got to pull out, because like it very much so can be you and is going to be you, especially if you keep on doing the things that you're doing and showing up in the way that you've been showing up. So we're embodying that. Okay. Like, period. End of story. And I love that for me. So if maybe you've been looking at like other entrepreneurs or people with like huge businesses and that's something that you've been wanting, it can be you. Like, yes, it can be you. Like, I don't have anything that you don't have. You know, whoever you look up to, they don't have anything that you don't have. Okay. And I love to remind myself of like, whatever you see in others, you have within yourself too. You have the potential to master within yourself too. So it's like if I see my business mentor, you know, thriving and like she's such an incredible, like strategic business owner, like if I see that in her, that means that I have the potential to master that same skill. So anything that you see in anyone else that you admire, just know that you have the same potential to master that as well. And just start making the moves and taking that aligned action that's going to get you there. Period. All right. So my second breathwork session was really beautiful because it like showed my whole future. Like it was like a timeline. And I actually visualized and saw like Bryson and I getting married, getting a house, getting the house that we want, having babies. There was like a little boy running on the beach, which I've spoke to my spirit baby before, and he's very adamant and very excited to be here. And I can't wait. He's going to be so special and so unique. But anyways, I digress. Just clock that. Just know that like my first is going to be a boy. Okay. Okay. I should say our first, LOL. But yeah, the first is going to be a boy. All right, guys, I want to interrupt today's episode to chat about my Black Friday sales this year. They are literally insane. If you have been waiting for a sign to go all in on the version of you who is living her best life, this is it. My biggest sale of the entire year is officially here. And I am not kidding when I say this Black Friday lineup is literally insane. I've bundled my most powerful programs, the ones that have helped hundreds of women transform their relationship with themselves, trust their intuition, heal their shit, and completely rewrite their reality. And for this week only, you can get them for the lowest prices that they have ever been. If you've been wanting to join Elevate, my one-on-one mentorship program, grab Glowed Up, Daddy Issues, or Aligned as Fuck, get into a one-on-one intuitive healing session with me, or jump inside of Awaken Intuition Training Camp, this is your moment. The women who move now get the deals. The women who hesitate are going to miss it. So pause this episode, head to the link in the show notes below, and grab everything while the Black Friday doors are open, spots are available, and the prices are slashed. Life gets bigger when you do, babe. And this Black Friday is your chance to expand. All right, let's get back into today's episode. Moving on, I got to see like our whole future. And then the end of it was like Bryson and I old sitting in rocking chairs on our porch. And when I tell you like your girl cried, and I think that was almost like my higher self's way of being like, you're going to get everything that you fucking want. Like, what? It was so beautiful. So those are the kind of like realizations that breathwork can facilitate for you. Very powerful, very excited to have her on the podcast. But anyways, why I went to this was obviously, yes, it was because it's a part of the mastermind. Like I did have to buy my flights. I had to pay for the room that I stayed in. But everything else when we got there was essentially like included in the mastermind price, right? Which is literally insane in my opinion, but I love her so much for doing that and for making it feasible and making it so outrageous and making it such an easy, absolutely fuck yes, like I'm in, wouldn't miss it for the world, right? So But I also like, as far as like an intention that I set for going into it, was really just to, I didn't like, I went in there and I was like, I want to make connections with other women who are building incredible businesses. I want to learn from, the top earners. I want to hear what they have to say about business building. And something that really surprised me, and that was like how fucking real everyone was. Like everyone was so real. And also, everyone started from nothing. Like there were so many, like I'm pretty sure that every single woman in that room came from, either a low income family, or were really fucking broke at one point in their lives and then just woke up and decided like this ain't it, and I'm going to make whatever the fuck I need to make happen so that I can live the life that I know that I'm fucking capable of living. And none of them, including myself, have excuses or are willing to let our excuses get the best of us and stop us from fucking reaching the potential that we know that we are so capable of reaching. So putting yourself in a room where you are almost forced to level the fuck up. Like you are putting yourself in a room with women who are making shit tons of money, and you're like, holy fuck, like I want to be like you when I grow up, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do in order to make that happen, right? It's not a bad thing to want to make fuck you money, like period, because more good people, more good-hearted people in the world need to be making fuck you money so that we can continue to do incredible things for the world and for the people who are in our world and in our businesses and in our families and in, right? Like period, end of story. And I'm going to also like, speaking on that, as far as like it's not a bad thing to make more money, it's also, this is kind of like, I'm getting intuitively called to share this. It's kind of random, but I remember back in 2021, I was talking to a woman and she was like asking me if I wanted kids. And I was like, I had always grown up wanting children, but the state of the world back in 2021, like if you know, you know, I feel like everyone knows. Um, it was just so chaotic and crazy. And I was like, why would I ever want to bring a child into this world? Right. And so I told her that. And she looked at me and she said, that's exactly why you need to have children, because you are a good human, and good humans create more good humans. And that's what we fucking need in the world, is more good humans. And I was like, heard. I was just like, that is so good. Like, period. Like, that is such a good mic drop moment. So if you're on the fence like I was, and you're a good person, which if you're listening to this, I know you are, go have some babies if it's in your cards, anyways. Okay, I digress. So getting back into it, that was super random, but had to share. Put yourself in the fucking room. Put yourself in the room that is going to inspire you to chase after your dreams, because that is the best place to be inspired, to be around good people, to be around people who are chasing after their dreams, to be around people who are going to lift you up and who are going to help you, or pull you with them when you're maybe feeling like it's ready to quit. Like you're ready to quit, right? You're ready to throw in the towel. Like, no, you've got to be supported by people who are in it with you and know what you're feeling, and also know the other side of how you're feeling. So I think that another thing that surprised me too was the fact that like all of these women at one point in their business thought about quitting. Like there's not one person that was in that room that thought about quitting at one point but then chose not to, because they would rather struggle doing what it is that they actually love to fucking do than to go and work for somebody else and build somebody else's dream and like live a life that isn't full of freedom and choices, right? Like, yeah, like like that. that right there, right? Which if 9 to 5 is like your thing and you don't want to ever be an entrepreneur, then maybe this episode's not for you. But and also that's not a bad thing. Like that's totally fine too. If that's content and you're good with that, then like that's totally okay. No shade. But I'm just saying, like, if there is a small part of you that's like, I want to build a business, like I know I can help other people doing X, Y, or Z, then like go get what's yours, sis. Like just fucking start taking the aligned action that you need to take to get there because it is so fucking worth it. Like, period. None of the women in that room let their excuses get the best of them. Some small takeaways, like I took a little, a couple of like one-liner notes, and from the like 7-figure business owners tell all from that panel that I told you guys about. And here are my takeaways. So it's 80% energetics and 20% strategy. And I was like, fuck, yes, it is. Because it's like, that's how I say you need 100% of the physical and 100% of the energetic. Okay, well, there's also when it comes to business that I've learned, it is truly like 80% energetics. What are you able to hold? What are you able to create? What are you programming into your energy that aligns you with being that like 7-figure business owner, right? And then that strategy part though is so fucking important. And that was something that I really struggled with. Like I said, I threw spaghetti at the wall for like forever. So it seems like, and none of it was working. And I had all of the energetics, I had all of that down. I knew how to do that, right? But I didn't know the strategy. So now that I've learned and am continuing to learning, the learning never stops, you guys, right? It never stops. It's always evolving. But in that moment, like I was like, yes, like that is so spot on. Like 80% energetics, 20% strategy. Just like they say, it's 80-20 with like working out and eating, right? 80% your diet, 20% actually working out and doing the work. So I don't know. I thought that was crazy and I loved it. So 80% energetics, 20% strategy. Another thing when it came to creating content, we were talking about like content creation. And I loved the way that Mikaela J was like, whenever I create content, I always ask myself, like, what does my ideal client avatar, like the person who she is trying to speak or trying to sell to, what is it that they need to hear today? And then she'll create content based off of that. Another one-liner that I really loved that I wrote down was, when you are in the presence of truth, suffering eliminates itself. When you are in the presence of truth, suffering eliminates itself. Like I thought that was so powerful. And what I like took from that is like, if you are living in your truth, if you are living in your power, then the suffering like will slowly dissipate. If you are just like connected to that truth that is yours. So I took a little bit more notes around that like conversation I had about, how do you stay in your feminine while also building a business? Like, how do you balance both? And the response was, if doing this activity makes me feel more or less alive. And then I took that as like, does doing this get me closer or further away from peace and happiness? And so I just love that. And then also reminding me that the feminine leads by inspiring, not carrying. And then also one of the other women was like, there are seasons where you are being in your masculine in business, and then there are seasons of you being in your feminine in business. An example of this is like when you're launching something that's very masculine, but then there are also seasons where you're like in your soft, quote unquote, like soft CEO era, right? And you're just kind of like leaning back and you've already planted the seeds and done everything. And now you just kind of get to sit back and pop in here and there, and it's not as like tense. But right now I'm like definitely in a grind season. Like I'm in my masculine, I'm going. And I think that's why I was so inspired to ask that question around feminine and masculine energy in business specifically. And I just wanted to hear her perspective, and it really, really helped. So I hope that it helps you as well. Yeah. And then, I mean, the rest, one more incredible one-liner. So there is no such thing as failure, only feedback. Like that right there. Are you fucking kidding me? It is so good because we don't fail, period. We just learn lessons. And then you take what you learn and you move through it and you implement it into your future, and then you're thriving eventually, right? But in the moment where you feel like you're failing, it's just feedback. There's no such thing as failure. It is only feedback. So another really incredible thing that we did that literally made me cry, because if we are not celebrating ourselves, who is going to celebrate us? And so celebrating yourself is so massive. And one of the exercises that she had us do was reflect on the growth that I've had in business over the last year. And I don't really love like talking about, like how much I made or whatever, but I also feel like it's inspiring. And like when I see other women sharing like what they've made and what they've accomplished, like I'm like, pop off, sis, let's go. That's incredible. Like clapping. So like, why wouldn't I do that for myself? And then why wouldn't I be the type of woman who isn't afraid to share that so that I can inspire other people as well, right? Like I literally started from nothing, from negative, and I am where I am today. And like I can officially call myself a 6-figure entrepreneur, which is fucking awesome, right? And I don't give myself enough credit. And so I, and you guys trust, the reflections have been reflectioning around that. But I think that I'm just in such a great big grind season, and then like planning the wedding, and it's just been a lot. So I wanted to, so I just like haven't, your girl's been slacking. Okay. Anyways, but the fact of the matter is when I did this exercise, I just started crying because like, I'm just going to share with you guys what I wrote. Reflecting on the growth that I've had in my business over the last year. I almost quit my business in February of 2025 because I was 6 months into a revenue plateau that was stressing me the fuck out and second guessing my ability to make my dream for my business a reality, but I didn't quit. I kept going. And because I kept going, I am living a dream that I once never thought was possible for myself. I have a Black Friday launch planned, which I've never been so like on my Black Friday plan. And it's just really exciting to have the strategy behind this offer. I have had the biggest launch with 16 incredible women inside of my course Devoted. I have sold out my mentorship for until the end of the year. I have had my first 7K day. I have hired a virtual assistant, a podcast team, and a bookkeeper. And I revamped my website to really show and feel like an extension of myself. And I also invested in top tier this business mastermind. So, I mean, I was sitting there writing that and I just started like tearing up and I was like, wow, like I have really accomplished so much. And it's so crazy to think about the fact that like I almost quit. Like I was literally on Indeed searching jobs. And then I sat there and I was like reading the job descriptions and I was like, what the fuck am I even doing? Like, what am I doing? Literally, what am I doing? I cannot picture or imagine myself sitting there working for somebody else. I honestly, if I did get that job, I probably would have worked it for like a month, if that, and been like, what the fuck am I doing? And I would have quit. Like, there's a reason that I have been an employee at so many different jobs. Like the running joke between Bryson and I, like when we go to a restaurant in our hometown, I'm like, oh yeah, I used to work there. And he's like, where have you not worked? And the reality is, I have worked like, I think over 20 different places because I'm not meant to work for somebody else. I either get fired or end up just quitting and not showing up. Like I give my 2 weeks, but I think I maybe have done that when I was younger, like just not show up and be like, okay, I'm done. Bye. Send me my check in the mail. Right. And yeah, it's just kind of funny to think about, but like the reason that I never could like land a job and like actually stay somewhere is because I was born literally to create my own business and to work for myself. And I'm feeling so aligned more now than ever before because I'm like just dialed the fuck in. So, anyways, really excited about what's to come in business and in how I help my clients with growing their businesses as intuitives and being able to give them the same strategy that I've been given and what's worked for me and also, like, what's so beautiful about this is, like, obviously I'm an intuitive, right? So I am able to use my intuition to make sure that the things that I'm giving my mentorship students who are also building businesses, like, I'm making sure that it's a 98 or above percent match so that they can get the results that they're looking for and make stupid amounts of money too. And like, I'm just getting started. I have, I think, 3 mentorship students now who are all desiring to grow businesses as intuitive. So really excited for them. And I can't wait for the women who are, I know there's so many of you out there who are desiring to create incredible businesses. And honestly, I am so thrilled to help because I love geeking out on like strategy now and like helping you guys figure out like what's going to work and what's not going to work and what you should post about and what you should release. And like, I'm so excited for one of my mentorship students who I channeled like the most epic fucking idea for her first offer. And she's working on it now behind the scenes. And I just can't wait for her to like put that out and to make money, you know, doing what she loves. And it's just an incredible thing to like experience. So anyways, I digress. That was my 4-day excursion in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and inside of the mansion, experiencing a fucking yacht, remembering that like, fuck yes, it is me. And I am capable of creating fuck you money and creating the life that I want to live. And I'm just really excited for what's to come. And I just thought that you guys would get some cute little tidbits and get some motivation from this episode. So that's all I've got for you today. I love you. And please go chase after your fucking dreams. That desire is put on your heart for a reason. And you are so fucking deserving and you are so fucking capable. Go get what's yours, babe. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Filar. If this lit something up inside of you, make sure you hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. We have new episodes coming out every week. If you love what you heard, drop a 5-star rating and review or share it with a family member or friend so that this podcast can grow and help more women rise. For more on self-love, self-image, intuition, and manifestation, come hang out with me on Instagram or TikTok at Mikaela Filar. The links are all in the show notes below. And as always, we will chat soon.